And in the meanwhile, hello to everyone, and let me pin myself. Okay, so hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's session. And today's session, as I was just mentioning to a few of you, that today's session is largely based on some of the inner work that I just recently did on myself. The finger, I keep saying finger within, finger within, finger within. However, because we are on earth, we have a habit for the finger to first start with the outside. That is the natural course for the finger to be outside. किसी दूसरे ने क्या किया उसके ऊपर पहले नजर नजर बाद में खुद पे आएगी, but that's not the first part. So now through awareness, we understand कि अच्छा, it is only our story. It is only our story. And with that, we begin to bring the finger within. In the process, we recognize everything as energy, as frequencies, our frequencies, and we can begin the shift. Today, we are catching hold of one such frequency, which is helplessness. I have spoken about helplessness before, but because I was taken to it again, this time in the last 5 days, so getting the work done on a deeper layer. Again, as I keep pointing out to you all, the work is every day, party is every day. Not just for you, even for me. There is nobody who is going to escape this कि हाँ मेरे को तो अब काम ही नहीं करना क्योंकि तो मेरे तो सारे इमोशंस हो गए. वो इमोशंस तब हो जाएंगे जब हम मृत अवस्था में होंगे, when we are dead. In that moment, the body will be without emotion. But till then, we will have emotions, whether of joy or of something else. There will be emotions. And if the emotions are of something else, then we have the easy way now to be able to process it and to change our frequency, So today I will get a little bit into, I normally don't get into stories, or at least don't want you people to get into stories, but I will get into some stories right now to begin with. So the way it worked out was, I had a very bad cough and cold and fever and all of that stuff. And as is normal for us to assume कि हाँ तबीयत खराब है क्योंकि ये ठंड लग गई होगी, ये हो गया होगा, वो हो गया होगा. Nowadays, at least initially, I will start with all the medication, but after some time, I do come to also the understanding that all of this is happening. There must be some energy that is shaking up over there, some energy. So to be able to look at that energy, the finger goes within. So this time, a few days into feeling very, very unwell, I finally started to do the inner work. As I started to do the inner work, my attention was taken to this fact that ever since, ever since I was 3 years old or even earlier, I have always been unwell around something that involves masti. So anytime that there is masti to be had, either before party or after party, I'm almost always unwell, either for both before and after. If not before, at least 100% for after. I am always unwell. And I have started to take it for granted कि हाँ ठीक है, अभी तो big event is coming up, I'm going to be unwell. And so this time, money took my attention to take a look. You've been doing this since you were 3 years old. And that especially because I was never well enough to attend my birthday in school. In school, they used to have a special, function and everybody would get around you and sing happy birthday. I was never well enough. I always had some problem or another, never did attend my school birthday song. And so Mani showed me that, oh, look, you've never attended any of that. You've always been unwell. So I said, agar 3 saal mein, that means I haven't really created some new programs. It must be coming from some other birth, some other life of mine. So what is it that I need to look into? When I ask, what is it that I need to look into? And the way that you will ask, what is it that I need to look into? You don't need to go that far. You go into any major event, and what do? You ask yourself the question, what am I feeling? So I asked myself, okay, each time in a pattern, each time in the pattern, when I fall unwell, what is it that I'm feeling? I am feeling, ये तो होना ही था. इसका तो कुछ कर ही नहीं सकते. Can't change it. It's not changeable. It has to happen. And so, in front of that event, what am I feeling? I am feeling helpless. I'm feeling helpless. So I got a little bit of the helplessness, and the work began on helplessness. I started to work, okay, saying, like, fine, where all have I felt helpless? What all do I need to look into? Some occasions, similar occasions came up that normally have the habit of coming up. Some came up, and I said, okay, but I've already looked at this. I've already done this. इसको तो helplessness को मैंने देख लिया. अभी भी देख लिया, पहले भी देख लिया. What do I have to look into now? And that's when Mani said, when you looked into the situations where you were feeling helpless, you have come to gratitude. You've also given gratitude to those people. But there is still some residue of anger, some residue of why I had to go through this. I've looked at the helplessness, but when I look back at those instances, I am still not feeling joyful. Can you imagine? We are to feel joyful about all of these instances and events that have played out in our lives. So I said, joyful, कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं हो गया? मतलब इतनी सारी helpless situations करके, you want me to be in joyfulness. I've come to gratitude. I'm already in gratitude, but how to create joyfulness? Give me a minute. I need to drink some water. So, how to create joyfulness? I've given gratitude, I said. And Mani said, no, the gratitude is not complete unless it comes from a place of joy. Gratitude itself is not complete. Okay, thank you for playing this role in my life, but you are still holding it against them that they played this role in your life. So the gratitude is not complete. तो जाके उस gratitude को इतना complete करो कि वो joyfulness में हो. You are able to say so and be in joy. And so the work began. So now I'm going to share the steps with you, and we will continue on this particular one. This is almost Let's Journal with Mani and Meenal, but without the presentation slides, because I didn't have time to make any slides today. But I will walk you through this tool, and we can all do it together. आपने साथ में अपने पेन पेंसिल तो रखे ही होंगे. But before I go there, this poem that Mani gave to me, or rather some of these lines that Mani gave to me. आस आस बाहर कुछ बदलने की, आस बाहर कुछ बदलने की, उस आस को तोड़ना होगा. उस आस को तोड़ना होगा। बाहर क्यों बदले कुछ भी, बाहर क्यों बदले कुछ भी, अंदर तू बदल, अंदर तू बदल। बाहर देखना छोड़, बाहर है सिनेमा, अंदर है रील। रील बदलने की सोच, सिनेमा देखना छोड़, है ना? We talk about this all the time. Then Mani said further, बाहर कुछ नहीं, बाहर कुछ नहीं, अंदर भी कुछ नहीं, सिर्फ एक तमाशा, हर घड़ी बदलता हुआ। चित्रपट, चित्रपट, द स्क्रीन। तमाशे में घुस ना, तमाशे में घुस ना, बस तमाशा देख, बाहर से देख, हर मोड़ को, हर पड़ाव को। सोल्यूशन मत खोज, सोल्यूशन है ही नहीं। डोंट लुक फॉर अ सोल्यूशन, देयर इज नो सोल्यूशन। बस एक नया पड़ाव है, एक नया मोड़ है। उस मोड़ पर क्या तू वही है जो पहले थी? दैट इज ऑल दैट मैटर्स। हु आर यू इन एवरी टर्न, इन एवरी क्रॉसिंग? क्या तू वही है जो पहले थी, या तू भी नई है? पुरानी यादों को समेटने का कोई मतलब नहीं। मतलब सिर्फ वही तेरा अनुभव जो उन यादों से जुड़ा हुआ है। Your experiences are the only thing that matters from old memories. So let go of the memories because they have no value except for bringing them back when you wish to experience the same. So, इस वक्त तू क्या अनुभव करना चाहे? तेरी याद उसी को आज इस पल में खींच लाए। If you wish to experience sadness today, योर मेमोरीज, तुम्हारी यादें जाके और कोई ऐसी याद ले आएंगी मेमोरीज में जिससे आज तुम्हें सैडनेस आ जाए। तू इस वक्त क्या अनुभव करना चाहे, तेरी यादें उसी को आज तुझ तक खींच लाएं। तो आज तू इतना कर, सिर्फ शुक्राना ला, शुक्राना ला हर याद पर, शुक्राना ला हर याद पर। तो शुक्राना के लिए तो पहले ही मणि ने बोल दिया कि शुक्राना तब तक नहीं जब तक कि एकदम वननेस में और एकदम खुशी से न बोला जाए। थैंक यू फॉर बीइंग माय एक्टर, थैंक यू फॉर बीइंग माय एक्टर। मैंने बहुत जगह बोला हुआ है, लेकिन मणि सेड ना, व्हाई डू यू स्टिल होल्ड दैट एक्टर आउटसाइड विद अ स्टोरी ऑफ ये उसने ठीक नहीं किया। ठीक है, वो मेरा एक्टर है, लेकिन ये उसने ठीक नहीं किया। So I looked within and I said, okay, what is it that I did not like about the story? So the one thing that I came up with कि ठीक है, करना ही था तो कर दिया, लेकिन थोड़ा, why to go to that extreme and give me that extreme experience? You could have been a bit kinder. You, the finger outside, you could have been a bit kinder, a bit nicer, even while you were playing the actor. And even as I was considering this, कि you could have been nicer, I was already smiling because I knew that यहाँ पे, why did I have to go through this? Why did this have to happen? Somebody could have been a little bit kinder. And so there was a long list. There was a long list of places where I felt helpless. Long list of places where I felt helpless. And whenever there was an outside actor, I felt, why did it have to be so heartbreaking? Why did it have to be so tough? It could have been a little easier. The most easy example that I will give to you, when I felt the most helpless, when Mani passed away. Just like this, Mani passed away. And so, what did I feel? Totally helpless. Totally helpless, can't do anything. He has just packed his bags and left, and he has gone. And so, feeling so totally helpless. And each time when I thought about this, I said, why did it have to be so tough? I am thankful that, okay, he had to leave, but why did it have to be so tough? It could have been a little bit easier on us, a little bit easier on us. So, who was I looking at? At the entire universe, at the powers that might be, and saying, you are the actor. You could have taken it a little bit more easy. There are many other places where I've felt helpless, but this one, I found the entire universe to be, so unkind. And so here, the universe was the actor, and I was asking the universe why it couldn't be a little bit more kinder. So, where is the finger? On the universe at being unkind, and the finger hasn't come back over here to say, this was my creation. This was my creation. And so, as we begin now, I would now like you to all, and I'm going to pause, and you will have time to think, but just close your eyes and ask in the universe. Okay, firstly, I take energy from Meenal. I take energy from Meenal. I am Meenal. Just so that all the answers that are coming to me can come with equal ease and grace to you all as well, because then you would understand all that is happening here, you and I, in the same frequency band. And so I take energy from Meenal. I am Meenal. And now ask in the universe where all you have felt the most helpless. It could be an actor that is still going on, where in your dealings with them, you feel helpless. There is nothing that you can do to change them. And so you feel helpless. You are stuck in a situation. You feel helpless. Actors continue to behave in the same way. You feel helpless. So where all are you feeling, or have you felt helpless? Whatever situations come to mind, jot them down. Jot them down. Whatever situations come to mind. In the frequency of Meenal, all the answers coming easily. Whatever comes to mind, helplessness. अब क्या ही करूं, कैसे करूं? ये वाली सिचुएशन कहां कहां पे आपको महसूस हुई है, उनको लिखिए. क्या होगा, कैसे करूं, किसके पास जाऊं? Totally helpless. I give you a few moments. So once you have written down all of these stories for yourself, I'm referring to my own work that I did. Okay. What Mani had to say about this was, so I actually asked him, okay, what is keeping me from being in Masti just before everything happens, every beautiful program happens, and I fall so unwell? So, what is keeping me from being totally in Masti at all times? And so Mani said, your frequencies of separation, that was the beginning point. Your frequencies of separation are keeping you separate from unlimited Masti. What does it mean? For many of us who have been to Jaipur, and this is a reference I keep making, I said, Meenal ki frequency has now so much of amazing, unlimited Masti that everybody please tune into that frequency. And I understand that that is a frequency, but what is keeping me a little bit separate from that frequency that I hold, that I generated in that moment? And so Mani said, your frequencies of separation. And therein began this topic of helplessness. Helplessness is where the power lies with somebody else and not with us. So, every place that you have written where you felt helpless, now simply to look at each occasion, and to repeat to yourself, to speak to yourself, this is my creation. This is a creation of my energy to experience helplessness. This is my creation, mine. It is an energetic creation of mine to experience helplessness. Anyone could be the actor. It could be a child, it could be a parent, it could be, as I said, the universe, it could be an illness of yours that makes you feel helpless. But to understand that it is a creation of my energy has created purely to experience helplessness. And the event is in perfection. The event that is happening on the outside is completely in perfection to make me experience helplessness. That is the frequency that our energies came with, and they wish to be experienced. When feeling helpless, as I said, why did the universe have to be so unkind? Why did this have to? Could it not be easier? What am I experiencing in this moment? The word that came to me was injustice. Injustice. And so now, look at helplessness and take it along with injustice. Where all do you feel very strongly about injustice? It doesn't need to be necessarily with you. You could be looking at the injustice in the world, but you feel very strongly about it. Then take a look again, take a deep breath in, and look at the word injustice. It is very closely associated with helpless, but could be showing up in different places as well. So you might recognize that when you are helpless, you are experiencing, or rather thinking, this is not just, this is not right. But even otherwise, even if it's not happening to you, but even otherwise, you could be associating yourself with many thoughts about how this is not justice, and that is not justice, and this is unjust. Whatever is happening is unjust. So take a look at some of those, and they will appear to you, whatever you find as unjust. For example, I used to get very, very heavily triggered with news about rape. I thought that it was the highest form of injustice in the nature. And so that to me, if there was a time when I used to feel that um, the only solution to a rape is to have the balls castrated. I come from that space. I was heavily triggered by that. But um, but now it's no longer that. Now I understand that a rapist, and all of that are simply plays of energies and are completely imperfection. When I take it inwards, am I feeling the same way? Am I getting triggered? That is where I want you all to take a look at the word injustice, the word helpless. And now, if you've written a few of those instances down, again, you might want to do this exercise again at some point if you feel that something is remaining, and you can take it at your own pace. You can go through this video again and again. It'll be on YouTube. But as we move forward, look at all the stories that you have put down of injustice, of helplessness, and now write this sentence down for yourself. I free myself. I free myself from all the stories that have helped me experience helplessness. I free myself from all the stories that have helped me experience helplessness. And next, I free myself from blaming anyone outside for the stories. Now, I went to each of the actors. There were about 6 or 7 of them in my case. I went to each of those actors and found gratitude for each of them. Once again, I've done it before, but this time I found more gratitude from the heart for each of them. So, how did I proceed with that? For example, just giving you one example, or rather a couple. So my first husband, the one that I got married to, when I got married to him, there was a voice in my ear that said, no, no, no. And I did not listen to that voice, and I went ahead. And then, of course, after afterthought, I listened to the voice as an afterthought. So when I was looking at that marriage and at that actor, I thanked the actor for being the one to show me that I have to listen to my inner voice. I have to listen to my inner voice. That's the way that I did so. Now, my father's death, which I talked about, which was something that really shook me up, and I thought that the world was being so cruel, and this was so not fair. So not fair that Mani had to die at the age of 52, which is so young, when so many people get to live till 80. So not fair. Can you see? This is where injustice is tying into my helplessness. So, thank you The death itself is the actor, not my father, but my father's death is the actor for me to feel helpless. And so, thank you for being the actor to show me that, and these are the words that came in guidance, that I am enough. I am enough. See, I needed a father, I needed his umbrella, I needed I needed his support. He was there to help me through everything. He was my emotional anchor. He was helping me through all the bad times that I was going through. And then this happened. And today I can thank him for showing me that I am enough. I'm giving you some examples from my life, but when you sit in guidance and ask, okay, what do I, from the heart, what do I want to thank this person for? You will be able to come up with your own gratitude answers, right? I I put these down. I was moving with a blank slate. I did not know where this was going, but as each actor came up, I was able to find something to be truly thankful about. One person that I really did not like his way of living, his way of life. I did not like it. And then when I was thanking the actor, the answer came, thank you for showing me my judgments. My judgments कि मुझे तुम्हारा जिंदगी जीने का तरीका पसंद नहीं है. वो जजमेंट किसका है? मेरा. So for showing me my judgments about other people's journeys. Who am I to judge other people's journeys? But there we are. We are constantly judging other people's journeys. And so, thankfulness from the bottom of my heart that you were showing me, that I judge other people's journeys, and now I can release my judgment. So thank you for showing me. As I was doing this, there was one person that I could not bring myself to thank from the heart. I wrote, thank you for this. But when I spoke it, it didn't come from the heart. There was still some blockage in the mind. It didn't come from the heart. And so, when it didn't come from the heart, I asked, what to do next? This is not coming from the heart. So Mani said, from the heart, what is coming? And I said, Gali. I said, from the heart, an abuse word is coming. And thankfulness and gratitude, I can feel it that, yes, I understand it that I have to be grateful because they played, but it's not coming from the heart. And you are telling me, if it's not coming from the heart, it's not gratitude. So what can I do to make it come from the heart? So Mani asked me, what is coming from the heart? And I said, Gali. And he said, what would you have liked to do when you were feeling so helpless? I said, yeah, I would have liked to give that Gali. And I went back to a past life, that past life of mine, because that is why it is with me from age 3 that I was carrying that helplessness from another life. And that life dropped in, and I could see that I couldn't give Gali then because those people were more influential. They were more, they had more power, and I didn't have that power. And so there was a Gali that was over there, which didn't come out from my mouth. So Mani said to me, a scream that is stuck in you. A scream, because in that scream, that Gali would have come, but that scream is stuck in you. So scream now. Scream now. And I said, okay. I got ready to scream and I started laughing. I started laughing because I said, but I must have given them those roles, right? So they are only acting as per those roles. So now my scream is not even real. I've understood some part of it, but the gali still exists, but the scream is no longer real because I'm understanding, but I'm still in the process of bringing it to the heart. So Mani said, okay, don't scream then, but speak the gali. For those people in that previous life, I didn't feel that much rage anymore, that much anger anymore, that much injustice anymore. But for the person in this life, I did feel a lot of anger, a lot of rage for the injustice that they did on me. So then that abuse word, that gali that came, I still didn't scream, but I did say that gali once, and Mani said, say it again, twice, three, four, five, probably 10 times. I said that gali. Just that gali. Okay. Just that abuse. I said that word and I said that word, and I wasn't screaming, and I was observing the word. I was observing how it's coming out from my mouth. And I was observing that while I understand that I have a lot of rage, the word, as I spoke it and I spoke it, the rage was getting lesser and lesser. Why? Because I was observing it. This is so important. We are now losing the charge on that word itself because now we are observing it. We've done this many a times before, but in this particular situation, if you are feeling so much resentment, hate, anger, rage towards someone, look into it and observe the abuse that you feel coming up and be with that abuse. Give that abuse. But this time, you give that abuse while observing it. Normally, you give an abuse from anger, from rage. This time, you know that the abuse is from anger and rage, but you also observe it. So as we go ahead in this process, if any of you wish to do that right now, I will give you a few minutes just to be able to look at all the scenarios that you have listed out. If there is a situation where you still feel that there was a lot of injustice and you have rage, anger, deep-rooted hate in that space for that person, look at how you wish to experience it and express it in words. And somebody says, what if the rage and resentment is toward ourselves? Well, a gali will come up. If there is so much hate or resentment towards yourself, for example, I don't have so much rage towards myself, but I do sometimes call myself an idiot. Like what an idiot. Like, how could you be so stupid, you idiot, right? So if you are feeling that much of anger or resentment towards yourself, you might feel an abuse coming up. And it's the same way, because for your hate, there's one actor, and that's you yourself. It's the same process. That you is outside of you. And through that you are experiencing the frequency of resentment, hate, anger, all of that stuff, rage. And so, if you feel like screaming it, go ahead, scream it as well. There's nothing to say that you can't scream it, that you have to go at it right from the beginning. If you want to scream it, go ahead, scream it. By the time you are done screaming 2 or 3 times, see if now you are able to observe the word without judgment. As the word comes out of your mouth, meant for that person, whoever it is, can you just speak it? Can you just speak it? And as you do so, as you look into this deep resentment and look at the gali, look at the abuse, and as you are beginning to observe it, keep it, keep it moving in that direction. Yeah. And now, and thank you, Arundhati, for such a beautiful question, because it immediately helps me go deeper into the next answer that I'm going to give to you. So, if it is towards someone else, if the abuse is towards someone else, now step back and see where all have you been that to someone else. For example, I take a very common, I don't know, abuse word, bitch. Okay. And you say, oh my God, she's such a bitch. She's constantly talking about other people behind their back or some such thing. So now just step back and see if and when you have been that. Whatever is your criteria for defining an other person, the other person with that gali, why are you giving them that gali? You have your reasons. But have you ever given someone else those same reasons to call you by that word? It might take a few moments for you because your energies are now scanning around as to where you have helped other people feel helpless. Where have you done something where other people might be looking at you in a similar way? You have helped them experience helplessness. It might not be immediately out there, you might not be such a villain, but you might be able to find places where you've done things that other people did not like, and that word might have appeared in their vocabulary. So, what are we doing over here? Many of you would have probably recognized it. We are bringing the finger within with the wholeness tool. You are the bitch, and so am I. Yeah. We are bringing the wholeness tool into play, bringing the judgments within to say, whatever I accuse you of, been there, done that too. From that space, you will find that the word, the gali, will lose some more of its bite. Some more of its bite. Your judgments towards another for what they did will come down a little bit more, and you will be able to feel just another fraction bit more gratitude from the heart. From the heart. Remember, this is the only exercise today because Mani said, nothing, if not done with a smile, if not done with love, Gratitude doesn't hold. And this was one of the toughest places where people make you feel helpless, where you think you have nothing. You have nothing that you can do to change the outside scenario. That's where you hold the maximum anger, resentment range. So now, moving towards if the anger and resentment is towards yourself, it's towards yourself, and that gali is towards yourself, that abuse that you have given is towards yourself. Find an opposite word to it, an opposing word with beauty and kindness associated with it. Maybe awesome, maybe kind, maybe beautiful, maybe amazing. And so now to do this wholeness tool with yourself, ask in the universe, yes, I have been this, and that abuse word will come to you. I have been this, but I have been that too. So sit on this other side and find places where you have been kind and you have been loved by others, and not just hated by yourself or by others. Putting all your focus in bringing yourself to the wholeness part of it. I am this and I am that too. Whether it's with others, then you bring yourself to the same level as them. Those that you condemn, recognize that you are the condemned as well. And then, if the hate is towards the self and the other piece, then recognize that if hate is towards the self, love is also towards the self. And you are both, and the full makes a coin. That's you, the entire universe. As Mani said, bahar kuch nahi, bahar kuch nahi. From that space, observe. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Now, I'm still observing. This sometimes because the rage is so much, and that you will forget, and you will go back into the finger outside and the blame outside. And what Mani said to me, all the suffering, that each of you go through, all the suffering that you go through is simply is simply from these experiences of polarity. Polarity. This is me versus the outside. So coming into singularity, oneness, there is me in the entire universe. He says that is the end of suffering. What he was showing to me is that even that helplessness that I'm carrying, where the finger goes and blames somebody on the outside, that helplessness, creation, doesn't need to continue. But for that to not continue, for that to be simply over with, I need to look into all the places where the finger is still outside and bring myself to complete shukrana, to complete gratitude. जितना आ जाओगे उतनी सफरिंग खत्म. मेरी तो छोटी सी सफरिंग है, 4 दिन बीमार पड़ गई, पर ये नजर आया कि हाँ, बचपन से बीमार पड़ती चली आ रही हूं, तो उसका मूल नजर आ गया, helplessness. But from this space, each of us, as we shed the old, new, new frequencies of Meenal at work. I take energy from Meenal. I am Mani. I am Meenal. I am Mani, Meenal. I take energy from Meenal. I am money. I am Meenal. I am money, Meenal. I am the creator of magic in my universe. I am the creator of every magic in my universe. Okay, everyone, lots of love.